Model Making Guru is sponsored by emodels.co.uk. Make something awesome. Hey everyone, it's Foxx from modelmaking.guru here. Hello, and welcome to the next exciting instalment of the Star Wars Build Your Own X-Wing from DeAgostini Modelspace. Yes, welcome. Of course, this video isn't from them. This is from me. They're providing this. But it's the DeAgostini X-Wing, 1/18 scale, big, huge X-Wing. And today is Wednesday, so happy Wednesday. We're going to be cracking on with issue 63. Now, before you get going, and I forgot to mention this in the last two videos, as I try and always remember to mention, this whole part work is being provided to me free of charge by DeAgostini Modelspace. It's very kind of them to do that, so I'm not receiving any payment for this, but it is being provided free of charge. But it's still all my own opinions. So today we're going to look at issue 63, and we are still looking at toy TIE fighters, toy coffee. I still can't say it. Coffee. Toy TIE fighters. There we go. Yes, we're looking at them yesterday. So today we're looking at more toy TIE fighters. This is the Legacy Collections TIE Fighter. I don't know about what they are. Is this a still figure series, or is this a miniature version? I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't know what that is. I say I haven't pre-read these. I only read these afterwards. So this is my first look. We have Hasbro's Rebels range featured the Inquisitor's TIE Fighter, which had firing missiles. Target stores at exclusive edition. Yeah, we don't care about that. I'm not American, so we wouldn't have got that. So that's kind of not very interesting looking, I have to say that. Even though it's Rebels, it's a shame. First Order one. Yeah, same basic thing, just looks a bit mad. I wasn't that keen on these big chunky boy bits around their wings, but yeah, hey, it's not a problem. And then this rubbish here, this Kylo Ren's stupid lozenge with wings. Yeah, we don't talk about Kylo Ren. Then we have a Starfighter Aces section. This time is L337, the custom pilot droid, which is the sidekick for I can't remember his name then, Lando Calrissian, in his Millennium. Yes, this is before it became the one we know and love, and it looks a lot simpler. Missing all the greebles on the side, but then again, don't forget, of course, Han has made many modifications to that hunk of junk. So, and it's quite a, I won't do any spoilers because you may not have watched it, but it's quite a sad character, this droid, for various reasons. I won't really give too much away because, you know, spoilers. And then we're at no beauty shot, no interesting fact. We're into building, and we are continuing to build the Cock and Pit and Gefahrten. Bits are flying, one's a stick, one's a wiggling, one's a yaw and roll and pitch. Yeah, that's it, so stick. And today we're going to do some painting. We're going to have to paint that component there. That is not at all in any way, shape or form anywhere near the right colour. So we're going to paint that. Some of the other ones may be a bit off as well, but for the time being, we'll just restrict ourselves to that one, I think. I need to do some research. I do have a picture of the cockpit, of the studio full-size set. I'll put it here. And that's what the cockpit looks like. So I need to... I'm not going to be a complete accurist. I'm not going to make everything 100% accurate. But I shall have a look. It might be that I need to paint these side panels as well, but I'm not sure yet. So if we shall see here, but this bit is not supposed to be a dark grey colour. It's supposed to be a kind of light grey colour. So anyway, yes, we'll get that sorted out. So that's the bit we're going to be doing today, is building up the Cock and Pit and Gefahrten. Like I said yesterday, of course, what I'm doing is I'll keep an eye on this as we go along, because it may well be, there's lots of other details I need to paint. I haven't decided yet whether I will completely repaint the cockpit, or whether I will stick with the paint job it's already got, because it's very conveniently painted, all the little lights and things, and just weather it. Because it might just be that once it's got a matte coat on, I've weathered it, it looks absolutely fine. I don't need to paint it. So, you know, I could repaint it, but I'd only be repainting it to look kind of the way it looks. So we'll see. But we do need to get that one bit painted today anyway, I think. The rest of it, we'll sort that out later on. Once we've got the whole thing built, we can probably get the cockpit back out again. Anyway, still no interesting beauty shot fact, so I shall leave you with a shot of the robot. I've already forgotten the name already, because I binge watched the whole film and forgot it. What's she called? L2, S2O, L337. There you go, Leet. She's called Leet. Anyway, let's crack on. Okay, let's crack on. So, here's all the bits we get in this issue. Now, you will notice, yes, this, you might have a bit that's more that colour, not this colour. Yes, I have painted that, and I'll talk about that in a second. But while we're doing this bit, we'll also need this piece from issue 5, from stage 5, I think it was, when we had early cockpit bit. So we brought that bit out again. Going forward in the next couple of issues, we're going to use the old cockpit parts, and we've got all the bits from the last issue as well. So let's crack on. Now, first of all, look, wibbly wobbly rubber time. Yes, so I'm going to put these bits over here. I'm going to get the screws out first, and we'll do screw deployage. These are XW02 screws, so I shall put them in the tray for XW02. Now, I do apologise that the camera's quite close to where the action's going on, so it is going to kind of be a bit squishy and restricted for me, so I might knock the camera more than all the times possible. I'm having to sit at a funny angle. I want to get close in so you can see, because it's all tiny fiddly bits today. So, yes. Now, before we get going, this. You can see how I've repainted that. How did I do that? The reason I repainted this is I did find a load of reference shots of the actual set, the X-Wing set, and the model itself. Now, like I said in the last video, I will put a link in the description below the video and in the comments underneath this video with a link to all the reference photos I found on the Starship Modeler website. I'm not going to post them here because they're not my photographs. I can't post them. They're copyrighted, the original owner, so I can't post them in here. But there is a few shots that show this. There's one of Mark Hamill actually getting out of the cockpit of the big standing set. I don't think that's on the Starship Modeler one, actually. If it's not, I'll pop it in here. If it is and you don't see it, if there's nothing here, then it means it's copyright someone else. But if I can post it here, I'll post it here. But there's one of them getting out the set, and it's got a light grey base. Now, this isn't exactly the right light colour, but it's close enough. How did I do this? Very simple. I used two colours. I did a primer coat or a base coat of Chaos Black from Citadel, just because it's the only rattle can black I've got. And then I did a rattle can coat of Tamiya AS2, which is light grey IJN, Imperial Japanese Navy. AS are basically their aircraft spray colours. These are just standard lacquer paints. Painted this outside. I could have used my airbrush, but I just wanted to get it quickly done. And rattle cans are great for this, so it's not a problem. So yeah, Chaos Black primer, and then a bit of AS2. If you are doing this, I recommend the rattle cans. This is a nice durable paint because they are lacquers, and they'll take all the handling we're doing. I wouldn't recommend getting your airbrush out at this stage because we're only going to have minimal bits of painting to do in the canopy. So I always fully advocate, if you've only got one or two little things to paint and a rattle can can do the job, just do a rattle can. Just make sure, for safety reasons, if you use your rattle cans, you do it outdoors. Never spray a rattle can indoors. It's horribly toxic, it stinks, and it goes everywhere. It's like a hose pipe for paint. So don't spray a rattle can indoors. Go outside on a nice day and just do it in the garden. Also, don't spray it right up plants because you'll kill the plants. Try and do it in an open part of your garden. Anyway, so that bit has been painted. Now, hopefully should be fairly straightforward today. We're basically sticking lots of things together into the cockpit canopy, the cockpit instrument panel. So let's get these little tiny fiddly bits out first. Let's see if we have a battle with the clamshell. Battle with the clamshell. I bet we do. Yep, looks like we're gonna. Yeah, oh yeah. Scissors. Here we go. Lenses down so I can see what I'm doing. It's cutting time. Right, so as always, be careful with these clamshells. They tend to ping and everything explodes out. There we go. Then it goes back in again. Yay! Get my finger under that. Right, there we go. Make sure there's nothing clinging to the top bit. Always check your clamshells. Nothing clinging to there. Get these bits out. Kaplunk. You see that? Static cling. Always make sure you've got no bits left inside, like that one there. Oh, you little... Oh, get out. Make sure there's nothing left. I have almost lost several parts to static cling, so just be aware of that. Got some nice console pieces and some tubes and pipes. Put them there. Now, here's the thing for you. In the instructions, it is going to tell you to use super glue to attach some of these. Don't do it. Don't use super glue. Super glue is fine, apart from it's messy as hell. It can frost over if you put too much on, and it just looks crap. And it also, if you knock it, it can crack. Get yourself some glue that works with ABS plastic. We've said this before. I'm using Plastic Magic. This is like extra thin for ABS and other plastics. So don't use super glue. I mean, super glue is nice and easy. It shows putting it on with a cocktail stick, but just don't. It's too messy. With these, what we can do is we can get the piece in place and then glue it in place with the glue, and it's a lot less messy. So just trust your Uncle Fox on this. So we're going to get going. We need this piece first of all, and we need to go back to the bits we made in the past times. And we are going to first of all apply the front panel. I remember we put the tape on this bit here. I'm going to leave that tape in there because it does hold it in place. It's not getting in the way. It's not going to affect any lighting. I don't think we'll ever have to get around the back of that again, but just in case, we'll leave that tape there. So this slides in. We've got pegs here, and we've got little recessed bits here. So it's literally just going to. So it's almost like it's sliding in place, which is very strange, but you don't. They just push it in, I think. I hope. It's round pegs, square holes. That makes no sense at all, but we'll just push that in. Yes, so as I say, lots of reference pictures in the link in the description and below in the comments. I did find quite a few, but a lot of them do show the main body of the instrument panel being a lighter grey and then the panels being in black. So, you know, some variation for vintage photographs is allowed, but it does show that. So why they give you, that is the same reason they give you the cockpit in brown. I've seen this model completed, I've seen this X-Wing finish now, and it does seem to be mostly brown. Now this piece goes on here. I don't know why they've created this X-Wing to have a kind of brown colour to it when it's not actually the right colour at all. But I'll keep, as you know, we will be repainting this. I'll have to get all the schmutz, finger schmutz off there as well. We will be repainting this and adding weathering and stuff. Fit the left panel in the same way. Should be fairly straightforward. I don't think I'll need to glue these because these are going in quite nicely and they're not going to get handled or anything like that. They're going quite nicely actually. Quite pleasant. Okay, so that's that bit. Turning the page. Take the top left forward panel and line it up, yada yada yada. Yeah, this is all fairly straightforward. So yeah, there's a I don't know why the colours on this model do seem to be it's angled towards the brown, especially when it's red 5 and it's clearly got a blue canopy frame, and yeah, it's really weird. But we are going to be repainting it, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That goes in really nicely, fits really nicely. I like that. It's a perfect fit. That, take the top right forward panel. It's coming to life now. You can see this. Before it was just some black bits and some grey bits. This grey piece that I've painted was like this colour originally. So again, given that it's supposed to be like light grey, I don't know why they printed it in dark grey. It makes no sense. Limitations of the production process, I assume. Okay, so that goes in. This is going to make me out to be a liar now. I'm not going very easily, isn't it? Get in the hole. Gadget would like you to get in the hole. It would be very handy. There we go. Bit of a big boy push. That's never going to come out ever again. Not ever in your lifetime. Fit the longer left upper side panel. That's this one. Into there. This goes in. Oh, this is on camera. This goes in here like this, was it? Like that. I can coordinate my thumbs and fingers, or thumbs and fingers. That's the wrong one, you fool. That's that one you want, the longer one. It does say the longer one. No, it's not it. There it is. It does say the longer one, Fox. Clues in the word, longer. Simpleton, simpleton, doing all the things that a simpleton does. There we go. And then this one. Not that one, this one. One goes in over there. Knocking, there you go, knocking the camera, lovely. This is a fairly easy part now. It's just bumbliness that's happening. Hope everyone is well today. It's Wednesday. It's beautifully sunny outdoors. You may well hear constantly the sound of, not lawnmowers this time, but a small propeller plane that's been going overhead round and round all damn day. I suspect it's an aerial survey plane. Why is this not going in? Shorter panel which fits next to it. Yeah, I suspect it's an aerial survey. There's a little nodule of plastic in there. Again with the little nodules of plastic. I suspect it's a little survey plane that's doing the rounds and taking aerial photographs, I think. But it's really annoying, so you probably hear it going over a few times. Right, where are we? There we go, that might go in better. It's beautifully sunny outdoors. I've got all the heating off, all the windows open. This is going to go in now. There we go, click a plunk. A little nodule of plastic. It wouldn't go in. There's a bit of a big boy push to get it to go in, but it does go in. So now we need to fit the triangular right side panel in. There is it. It's been flying around all morning. Good few hours. Coming back again now. You might not hear it. You might only hear it when I talk because of my noise gate on my microphone. But Google taking lots of aerial photo giraffes. Which is fine, apart from I wish they'd get round to doing one of our road. It's really annoying on Street View. I want them to do some updated Street View photographs so they can get a photograph of my car with its awesome shark mouth. Just for fun. But our Street View hasn't been updated since like 2012. Which is really annoying because all the roads around it have... Why is this not going in? Have been updated. Except our road. Really annoying. There's a little... sticky out a bit on the knot on the peg this time. Let's get that file down a little bit. Where's my file? I have a little file somewhere. There we go. A little bit of little nodule on the peg, so we'll just file that down a little bit. And we'll widen this hole just a tiny touch. It does go there, doesn't it? Yes. To get it to go in. Again, like before with other things, if things have to be widened, then we can always go in with some glue and reinforce them even. Go in. Get in the hole. Actually, it would prefer if you would go in the hole. I'm going to file this little peg down even more now. It's quite tough plastic, I've got to be honest. Is indeed quite tough. Indeed not wanting to go in. I may have to cut away for a moment while I force this. Give me a minute, I'll go and get this put in. I'll probably just have to file that down even more. That peg and get it to go in. I'll widen that hole. I shall be back in a moment. Okay, we've got that in. I had to widen the hole a little bit, which did loosen it somewhat. So I've had to go and glue the back just to make sure it stays in place. It falls out dead easily now, and I've made the hole bigger. And while I was doing that, my neighbour decided to mow the lawn. So I've had to close the windows. It's getting a bit warm in here. Yes. Now, with that bit done, so if you do have problems with that, just file down the peg or widen the hole a little bit. And when you've got it in there, you may need just to glue it to reinforce it. That's that bit. So that is there. Fitting the links. Silver and black details supplied are fitted onto the surface to represent links between the panels. Although they are, it says here, although they are a push fit, using a little super glue cyanoacrylate adhesive will provide extra security to keep the links in place. Now it shows you using a little cocktail stick to put in some CA glue. Do not use CA glue. I mean, CA glue will be fine in this situation. It won't break apart. CA glue shatters if you drop it or smash it or hit it, anything like that. But also it's just messy. So please don't use CA glue. Get yourself some glue that works with ABS, like Plastic Magic. It's much easier and you'll see why. So, the short silver link has very long pins, so glue isn't necessary. That's this one. Glue is not necessary. This needs to go with the slight angle. Which way? It goes. Where does it go? Here. Those two holes there. It seems to have a little sort of camber upwards. You want it that way around. I think let me tweezers so you can see. Hang on. They are my tweezers. As far as I can tell, from the vague photograph, you need this little flat bit here at that end. The bit that's just dropped down because it's filament. Shambolic as ever. So let us in. Well, let's drop it actually, just as easy, isn't it? Let's just drop it. Oh, Lordy Lord, Fox. Because it's round, and round things are hard to keep hold of. Matron. Before we do though, there's a little bit of flash on there. Now this does mean I'll have to touch it up with paint later on, but there's a little bit of flash from when it was on a sprue. So let's just rip that off. Now we are going to add some weathering to this cockpit, so it's not the end of the world. That in there. We'll do that. Tweezers, wasn't I? Hang on. Oh, oh! This is a shambolic episode like all the rest. The problem holding tubes with tweezers is they just spin round. I need some tweezers with rubber grips. In the hole now. Gadget would prefer it if you got in the hole. There. No. There. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. Ah! Blanche Taculon. Again. This is going to be frustrating. I can see this coming. Try the bottom pin first, because that one seems to be at a funny angle. Oh. Right. Frustration's out. I may have to pause when I do this. I can't have you sitting there 10 minutes watching me stick a pipe in it. Yeah. Give me a minute. There we go. Right. Sorry about that. It took me about 5 minutes. I had to in the end widen that hole a little bit and kind of just use my reverse grip tweezers. Wow, that was just so fiddly. You could get this end in, okay, but this peg just refused to go in that hole when that one was in there because it was at the wrong angle, so it required a bit of concerted pushing. So that is that piece in. That's never going to come out. They're right, you don't ever need to glue that because you just don't. Now we want the U-shaped link, it says, and it should go up here. But it needs to go from that little box there to this hole. So this should just push in. These are quite flexible, so be very careful with these. Be very gentle. That goes in there. It's going to be very easy to snap these little pegs, and it's also really hard to keep a grip of them because they're flexible. They're all wibbly wobbly and wanting to wibble and wobble everywhere. That goes in there. I think we're going to have to be widening some holes here. This one again isn't going in. Let me just widen this hole a touch. That hole a touch. Schmutz off. Get the crap out that I've just shaved off. Out you come. Come out. It's going to be a shambolic episode as usual, isn't it? Yes. Just to go. That. I know you probably can't see any of this because of my hand. Oh, this is a nightmare. Right, that's in. Yes, it's in. This one is in. Yes. So there we go. So if you were doing this with super glue and you had to fanny around like I've just had to do to get those to go in, by now you'll have super glue all over your hands, your fingers, and you'll have super glue all smeared around there. Don't use super glue. Don't knock the camera. Use this glue. Use Plastic Magic or something similar, because all I'm going to do now is touch that to there. That to there. It melts the paint off the plastic and then glues the plastic together. There we go. Done. And if I want to and get brave, I can get most of the glue off the brush and just touch it there. I don't really want to do that because that's risking getting glue on the nice shiny black plastic, but that'll hold that in forever now. There we go. The next one is Silver Link in steps 5 and 6. The other thing with super glue, of course, you've got a limited amount of time as to when it's actually useful. So this one we want Which one do we want now? I want it to go like there, to say? I think it's this one. I think it's this one. And this needs to go from here all the way down through these holes here. So it goes to... Okay, so this one is... Oh no, it's this one here. So it goes to that hole there. Goes in nicely. And that hole there. Okay. That's not the right pipe, is it? That can't be the right pipe. It is the right pipe. It is supposed to stick up in a gawky manner like that. There you go. Cool, no problem. And then as I pushed it on, I noticed a bit of flash on it. Flash. Yes. See if we can get this flash off. There's some flash on it, so let's just clean that off first. I shall teach you how to work with pipes. Okay, so if you want to get a flash off a pipe, very simple. Get a metal file. That's a nub actually. Try and hold it in such a way that it's not going to bend, because if you're going to snap this, it's going to be because it flexes and bends. So get your knife blade and just very gently, no pressure, run it along any nubs. Now this is going to take the paint off, but like I said, we are going to paint this and we can touch in all these little silver pipes and tubes very easily later on. But the trick is you want to hold it in such a way that it's not bending and flexing, because bending and flexing is what damages these things. So here, if I'm going to file it, I have it braced under my finger, or on top of my finger, and I'm filing here. So it's not going to bend, and what I'm doing is I'm going in one direction. I can come back in a different direction, but each time I'm only sanding one way. I'm not going back and forth like this, because going back and forth puts stress on the plastic. Now I don't care that I'm taking the paint off, because like I say, I just care that it's nice and smooth. We'll repaint that later, that's fine. I'm flashing that little corner there. Worth checking for this before you then glue these in place. I'll get my sanding sponge just to smooth that off a little bit, and again, very gently I'm bracing it on top of my finger so it can't bend, and I'm using it in one direction. I'm sure that's a crappy boy band. Probably is. Oops. Because you don't want to snap these. Looking a bit better. A bit more. Trying to use the sanding sponge as a brace to stop it bending. I appreciate this is probably all out of focus. I didn't think this episode would be this involved. It would stick a few bits on the cockpit dashboard and there you go. And now it's not a dashboard. I don't know why I keep saying dashboard instead of instrument panel. It's because I'm not a plane maker. Go one direction. Right, that should suffice. So this can go in there. Oops, bending. Be careful, don't snap anything. That does actually stick up, which is a nice little touch. And then we're going to go around the back. We can't actually put any... we can't get any glue on the back of these because these are sealed, I think. Are they? Oh no, there it is. It's there. I'm being a little bit generous because I want the glue to take the paint off. There. I want that silver paint to come off the plastic. If you glue two things together that are painted, then all you're doing is sticking the paint to the paint. Whenever you glue two things together, what you want to try and do is remove the paint at the contact point. Put a little touch of glue at that end and just under there. I've taken most of the glue off this brush. I don't want to get a big splob of glue because it'll mess up that plastic. And if you look in the magazine, you'll see here, maybe you'll see, look at that. Where is it? See there? On the photograph, and maybe it comes out clearer there. You might see there, you can see splobs of glue where he's glued them in and made a mess. Well, you don't want to use super glue. Also, super glue, you've got to keep fiddling around with the pot to make sure it doesn't all dry out. And yeah, it's just, don't use super glue. Don't use super glue. So that's those on. They're never going to come off once the glue sets. Next. We have the final silver link. You know where this is going. Which is going here. But we need to, again, clear off any flash. Pipes and tubes are very delicate. You've got to be really careful with these. But you kind of learn an instinct for where to bend. Especially when you've got to cut them off sprues as well. Thankfully we don't have to, but cutting them off sprues is also a bit of an art form. So this just slides in, slots in, and when this end one goes in, all the other ones come out, of course. That one goes in there. Oh, there's two middle ones. Well, I never. There we go, that one's in, that one's there we go. So when you put in the screws, don't just push one in all the way first, just put them in bit by bit. Okay, so we'll use the glue again. More gluing yards as this stig. Enough glue to get the paint off. I'm just rummaging around the plastic bit with the glue just to get that paint removed. Like I say, you want to glue plastic to plastic, not paint to paint. There we go, and we'll just do a little bit of touchy. Again, get most of the glue off. If you don't get most of the glue off the brush, you'll get a big blob of glue. It'll tarnish the shiny black plastic. Now we are going to matte varnish this, of course, once it's finished. This whole console will get like a matte varnish. So we will have to repaint the silver bits to be nice and shiny. We want that. We want the silver bits to be shiny. Not a biggie. But yes, we'll get rid of this plastic shine that you've got on the components because it'll all be matte in the end. And we'll put some weathering on it because it's going to be used and worn. Short black link has very long pins. Glue isn't necessary. Short black link is this one. This is not a Graflex flash holder. This one goes which way around? Is it chiral or is it either way? Either or. Okay, there's a hole. It says making sure the link is the right way round, and then totally doesn't bother to show you any indication as to which way round the right way round is. This end is solid, this end has a hole. There is a pipe that will go into that hole. So clearly you want to have the hole, I'm guessing now, at this end. It doesn't actually show you that. No. Where's that other pipe? Let me just check the end of that pipe. Yes, you see, the end of the pipe there goes into that hole there. They don't tell you that. Make sure you get it the right way around. Brilliant. Which way is the right way around? Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. Oh, thanks. Right, so goes into these two holes here. This just should hopefully push in quite easily. That. Any further than that? How far does this need to stick up? Pushing. Do get it the right way around, because once that's in, make sure you've got that the right way around, because once that's in, that ain't never going to come out nor nothing neither. No. Not never nor neither. Now it says, press the link into place before the glue hardens. Okay, now this is where I may come unstuck, if you pardon the pun, with using the glue I'm using, because I don't know if Plastic Magic will glue this weird rubbery stuff. There's in the hole there, and the hole there, that hole there. This is kind of rubbery nonsense, so we may have to use CA glue here. I regret to report. We'll find out. Goes in there like that, as we just found out. It goes into that little hole. That there, that there. That in there. That is loose. That needs to glue in. Sorry, I'm not on camera, am I? Why they made this sort of stretchy rubber? I know it's supposed to be a rubber hose, but right, so that sits in there. There's a weird flat bit here. I sense that may have a purpose later on. We shall try the Plastic Magic and see what happens. No, my luck, it'll just melt the rubber. That would be fantastic. Let's try it and see. Except where the little holes there. You can see two of them here. One there, one there. I don't know if this will work. We can but try. Touch of it in there. Like that. And a touch of it in there. Glue that stuff together. If necessary, we can use a tiny bit of CA glue. if for nothing else than to just glue those 2 bits in at the back. There's no way to get, you can't see the other side of the hole for those 2. But for these 2 you can see inside. So I'm going to leave that for a little while just to potentially stick. And if it has worked, happy days. Glue down there. If we're lucky, that will have sticked. Sticked? I just said sticked, didn't I? Oh dear Lord, Fox. Right, and then remaining link fits on the underside. This is the longest bit ever for something I thought was going to be really quick. The remaining bit fits on the underside. That's very strange. This goes where? This goes oh, not on this at all. This goes on here, like this bit here, you'll see. Remember, this is the one from issue 5. So we have L-shaped bit here goes there. Very strange. And then this piece goes here like that, which is not going to stay in place. Oh, lovely, lovely. You get in there. Tweezers are required again. More fiddly things. That's going to go in there. Need to get this one in first and then put it in place and hold it while I put this one in place. Squish. Doesn't help that these are squishy and bendy. There we go. Very strange. Yes, I don't know why they didn't just make these out of plastic. That just looks like a rubber tube. Would have the same effect. That's that in there, so I'm going to glue this one. I can be quite generous here because you're not going to see the underside of this underside bit. Glue there. There. Now it does say on this bottle, low odour, super thin cement for invisible joints, bonds, ABS, styrene and plastics, other glues cannot. And that doesn't give you any more. It says bonds, ABS, styrene, polyester, PVC, butyrate, polycarbonate, plastic card. There you go. So they might be PVC, could be butyrate, polycarbonate. Don't know. We'll find out. I mean, this looks... Yeah, that's on. That's not coming... Yeah, that works. That is glued in place. There you go. Get yourself some plastic magic. Don't need to use messy super glue. Right. That's that bit. And now we need some screwage. So these 2 bits need to go together. So let me get the screws ready. And we'll do that. Okay, so we need to fit the 2 parts of the console together. And then we need some XW02 screws. So these go together. Like a horse and carriage, I believe is the phrase. This way. I think. Like that. Oh, yes. Looking very console-y like now. Yes. Not liking that dirty, great big... Oops, knocking. Nub. Let's get rid of that. Thank you. Goodbye. There is also one on the front there, but I'm hoping it gets hidden. I'm removing this more for fit issues than anything else. So that sits like that. That goes there like that. And then we need some screwulations. So we need to put screws here, here, and here. Let us do that now, shall we? Where are my screwdriver? I have my screwdriver in. There it is. It was in my hand. 3 XW02s. So what? This should be... Oh, knocking the camera. This should be fun with the camera that close. One in there. I'm going to do this very gently to start with. Just very, very gently. I don't want to knacker any of the plastics. One here. Screwing all the things in holes. This one goes in here like that, you see. Oops. I'm really pleased that that glue worked on those rubber things. That's kind of handy. And now I can go around and tighten these. Plastic magic. It does plastics and it really is magic. Yes. There probably are others available at Universal Glues, but I recommend Plastic Magic purely because it is so thin. It's like Tamiya Extra Thin for plastics. For other plastics, and you need the tiniest amount. It sucks into little gaps through capillary action, and you'll have no issues with it making a mess because it's so thin. And there we go, that's that bit screwed together. And there we have that is issue 63 or stage 63. Completed. That's where that you can see that cable there. Completed. That's done. So that is going to do us for issue 63. As usual, it's been shambolic and terrible, but never mind, you love it anyway. Stay tuned for issue 64 on tomorrow, Thursday. Wednesday today. Stay tuned for issue 64. Until next time, don't forget, of course, if you want to pick up this partwork, you can through DeAgostini Modelspace. Link in the description below the video. You'll see it down there. Go and check it out. It's a really cool little partwork. I say little, it's the size of a house, but never mind. But until next time, if you want to support the channel, please do through Patreon or become a channel member, as we just talked about. Until next time, I shall say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. And until next time, adios amoebas. Oh, by the way, you wouldn't have this much problem doing this if you weren't doing it on camera. Trust me, I make it look really common. It's not. It's just I'm on camera and it's a bit fiddly on camera. Adios amoebas.